Welcome back to another video, ladies and gentlemen. In this video, we're going to talk about quiz funnels, right? So without further ado, I would say let's get straight into this. So first of all, we're going to break down the paid acquisition strategy. Then we're going to spend a second talking about advertorial funnels. And then the main topic of this video is obviously quiz funnels, right? So we're going to talk about the template that you can use for your products. We are then going to break down every single question that you should have in your quiz funnels, the whole logic behind it, the whole ideas behind it, then also what you have to do before actually then pushing them to the sales page. And then obviously we're also going to then break down the whole product page with all of the conversion optimization elements, and then also the whole checkout flow with all of the upsells. So really excited for this video. Now, first things first, for this quiz funnel, I just took a brand example that you're probably going to be familiar with, which is Try Spartan, right? So they sell hair care products for men, and now if we look at the ad library, you can see that they have dozens of different ads. They're just crushing with VSL ads, image ads, and all of that stuff, right? So I would really recommend for you to check out the ad library, and they are just also crushing with the output, right? So you can see that they always have around 1,000 ads live, which is crazy. So you can also, just go through the ad library yourself. And then what is interesting is that they actually run most of these ads through one or two funnels, right? So one is the advertorial funnel. I mean, we've broken advertorials down on many videos, right? But funnel number one is basically add to advertorial to sales page. Advertorial is just a long form written format of like a great story where we talk about their current pain points, current situation, beliefs, yada, right? That's not the topic of this video. If you want to dive really deep into advertorials, I recommend you to check out one of the other videos of my channel. For example, this one, where I just 30 or 40 minutes just talk about advertorials, right? So the main topic, as I said, of this video is going to be the quiz funnel. So before we dive into the specific questions, the specific flow, the specific sales page, I want to give you the meta breakdown and the template that you can use, right? So essentially, we have 18 slides that we use in the quiz funnel. If you look at the sections that we have, it's 11 diagnostic questions, right? Where we essentially want to give a really great understanding of the person where we sell to. We then have 2 info slides in between to build trust and pre-handle objections. We then have a couple of summary slides, and then we have some solution framing questions, right? And then we give them the sales page, right? So that's the high level overview, and that's a really great template that you can use. And now I would say, let's break down every single question step by step of this funnel. So I've just opened up the Facebook ad library, and then you can see that essentially they, for example, have a 2.5 minute video sales letter, and then from here, they then push straight into the funnel, right? So I would say let's break down this funnel together. Let's go through this step by step and then essentially break down what happens. So question number one, and this is a really interesting one. This is a visual identifier, right? So we first ask them, how old are you, right? So just to make it super easy to kind of resonate with this, we then also give them different avatars that they can identify with, right? And make it easy for them to click into this. Because the whole idea of this is that we in the beginning can understand who is going through this quiz funnel, and then every single answer they give us in the quiz, we then later use on the sales page as a super important information point, right? So let's just quick this question number one. Right, so this is essentially just how old are you? It's super easy, and just essentially opens up the current situation before we then start diving into the pain points, right? So question number two is then the pain location, right? So first of all, we want to get an understanding of where are they experiencing the pain, right? So let me just put in hairline, right? So at this stage, we then identified where do they have the pain, right? And then the next one would be pain specification, right? So first of all, understand how old are they, where do they currently have the pain point, and then specify the pain that they're experiencing. At this point, it's just a easy yes or no answer, right? So do you currently experience these symptoms? I would just put yes, right? The next follow-up question is then pain severity, right? So just to get a better understanding of how big is the pain point for them right now, right? So I would just put a lot now. And then the last question that we asked them for their current situation is the pain timeline, right? So here we want to trigger urgency and ask them, okay, when did you first started noticing changes to your hair? So I will just put over a year ago. So this is essentially, as you can see, these are the first 5 questions, and this is the first section of the whole quiz funnel, which is super important, where we just get a better understanding of their current situation and their pain points. Now we move into the second stage of the quiz funnel, which is the desired situation and social proof, right? So as you can see here, we move away from pain, right? Talking about the current situation to now talk about the desired situation where we ask them, okay, what are the results that you're expecting from your treatment, right? So I will just click 2 here, for example. So this question is just to identify what is their desired situation. So what can we use later on in the funnel to then sell them, right? So let me just click continue here. And then the second one is also super interesting because this is the first time that we essentially give them social proof, right? So this is not really a question. This is rather just tying this to their desired situation of they just put, okay, hey, this is my desired situation. I want, for example, a stronger defined hairline and I want thicker and fuller hair. And then they click on continue. And then the next thing that we show to them is, listen, we have millions of happy customers, right? So this is more of an information that we give them. Then we move into the next part of the funnel, which is individualization, right? So here we ask them 2 questions, right? First one is, what is your hair type? So for example, I would just put straight or wavy. And then how long is your hair, right? So for example, medium long. So this is 2 interesting questions. So this is the third section in the quiz funnel, which is the individualization one, where they also then feel that the product is really individual for them. Then the next section, right? So essentially, we now went to section number 1, section number 2, section number 3. So there are actually 4 more sections before we then go into the product page. So the next section, section number 4, is actually the pre-objection handling one, right? So how much time do you spend on your hair every single day? Right? We offer treatments that are quick, simple, and work with your routine. So now in the quiz funnel, we already take objections that come up later when they're on the product page away and clear these objections. The first question, yes, is just a pre-objection handling question. So let me just put 5 to 10 minutes, right? And then we again give them an info card, right? So this is a bit similar to what we did before, right? We ask them a question, we give them an info card. So here, for example, we ask them the question of how much time, and then we say, hey, a busy schedule doesn't have to stop you from looking and feeling years younger. And then let me just go on to the next one. Then what we then do is we again go into the causation questions. So at this point, we educate them a bit, right? And then we also want to understand why are they experiencing the pain point, right? So the first question that we ask here is, does hair loss run in your family, right? So for example, I put yes. And then how often do you tend to experience stress? I experience it all the time, right? Then the really interesting stuff happens. So first of all, we give them the final diagnosis, right? So the summary of the hair profile. And now you can see that based on everything that I've told them before in the funnel, they now take all of those information points that they have about me in terms of how old am I, what are my pain points, how long have I experienced the pain points and all of that. And then essentially tell me the level of my hair loss is currently super high. Right, so hair seems to thin out fast. This is due to high levels of DHT, dormant hair fossils, and decreased blood flow. Right, so aging type is extrinsic, room for improvement is high, the trigger is this DHT sensitivity, and the impact on appearance is noticeable. So at this stage, right, we really just give them the conclusion of everything that they went through. Now let me click continue, and then we then essentially make a promise, right? So we tell them, hey, this will be your individualized transformation plan. So what you can see here, that they take the current month, for example, December, and then they go 6 months into the future. So this is really great because this already frames the person on buying more, right, which I'm going to talk about in a second. But this already frames them on, hey, this is the last plan you ever need. And based on your answers, we expect you to have visible increase in hair thickness and hair health by May 2026. So essentially, we tell them, hey, listen, you take this for 6 months, and then you're going to be at your desired situation. So now let me click on continue. What happens next is the last section before we then go into the sales page, right? So here we basically build tension before showing them the final solution, right? So you can see that this is loading, right? So that it feels like we're really giving them an individualized solution. So the first one is then, are you determined to finally stop your hair loss? So here essentially, we just want to create a yes street of yes, do you really want the solution? All right, then I click yes, and then the next one is going to load. So we are just going to watch this load right now. And then the next question is going to pop up. And then, did you know that stress and genetics are one of the biggest contributors to hair loss? Right? And then it's going to load, and then it's going to show you the next one. And then it's going to ask the last question. Does a similar effective hair care routine sound good to you? Yes, it does, right? So here we build the yes street and get the prospect really, really excited. And then here I can click submit. And then you're going to see we are done with the quiz, right? So this is probably taking around 5 to 10 minutes actually for prospects to fill out. So they spend a lot of time. They are super invested. They really feel now also with the last section, I think this is really, really great. In terms of the design, they really feel like this is an individual solution specifically for what they need and what they're looking for. And then we show them the sales page, right? And then what you can see is that on the sales page, it really feels like an individual solution. So hair profile matched, here's your growth plan. You can see that we, again, aging, reason extrinsic, opportunity high. We then take the results, the answers based on what they gave us in the quiz. And then let me just scroll through this high level. We then essentially have this long form sales page. And now, because it's a hair care product, it's a consumable product, right? You can see, and this is what I meant with they frame you on getting a 6-month supply. We essentially frame this as the best option, 6-month supply. And also, if you remember, we told them before, listen, you need a 6-month transformation plan, right? So that they are more likely to go for the higher average order value option. So already in the quiz funnel, you can essentially design the quiz funnel so that you then increase your average order value. Now, let me just break this down for you. So first things first, above the fold, we start with the bundle and save, right? So this is a really great frame. Then we already talked about the individualizations aspects here and here and here. We have the social proof at the top. We have some more social proof saying, hey, you join thousands of men and it's a super simple and easy routine. And then we talk about their desired situation, thicker follow hair in as little as 10 weeks. We then talk about the benefits of the specific product. On the left-hand side, we then have the product images, right? And then down below here is the most interesting section where we essentially give them some urgency, right? So there's a lot of people that are purchasing this right now. We pre-select the subscribe variation, right? So pre-select the subscribe one, and then we put the best bundle in the middle. And then you can again see recommended for you based on your quiz results. That essentially, yes, they could go for the 1-month supply or for the 3-month supply, but this just feels like the best option. It's by far the cheapest option in terms of the price per bottle. And again, it's like really individualized based to the answers they gave us earlier. Now, if we scroll down further, you can see that we have some more testimonials here with before and afters. We have some behind the brand scenes, so brand doctors, hair experts, right? So essentially authorities that trust the product. And then we have a lot of product details, benefits, and ingredients. We have a money back guarantee. And then we have another offer section before we then show them the testimonials and another offer section FAQ, right? So really, really great sales page. Now let me just here go for the 6-month supply to then show you the checkout. In the checkout, you can see we essentially have the same frame at the top. We then have this, hey, we have limited inventory, sellout risk is high, you have a specific coupon code. Then we have some more urgency here, right? So your card is reserved for 10 minutes. Only on this page, we've doubled your money back guarantee from 90 to 180 days. And then you can see here, that the 6-month option that we just chose on the product page is selected. And then also this upsell is already pre-selected with the expedited shipping. And then you just kind of go through this and buy all of this, right? So this is really, really great checkout. Then obviously once you start buying, you get a lot of OTOs in the backend. Don't want to buy this now, so I'll break down the OTOs another time. And again, the main purpose of this video was also to break down quiz funnels for you. So I will share this Miro board down below in the comment section, so you can essentially rebuild this whole quiz funnel and apply this to your product and your brand, right? So that's why I also want to break it down for you in terms of what you have to do here in terms of the questions, and also the specific ways of setting up this funnel, and then also the sales page and to checkout. Now, if you want to get help from us in building quiz funnels together with you and helping you with these general direct response and funnel builds, then just click on the link below. It's going to take you to this page. I have a quick explanation video in terms of how our offer works. And then if you're interested in this, then just click on here, schedule a demo with me and my team. And then we're going to walk you through how we can, for example, build quiz funnels for you and your brand, how you can use advertorials, how you can use direct response mechanisms to really double your revenue in 2026 as an e-commerce brand. Really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know your comments down below in terms of what are you thinking. Do you have any follow-up questions? Is there any content you want to see in the future? And then I will see you in the next video.